Hi, folks. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, and this is the teachings, the original teachings of the Christ. We go through the New Testament chronologically, and the first teachings of the Christ are in the book of Mark. That's the first book that was written that contained teachings of the Christ directly. So that's where we are. We just did a great one the other day, last week. I encourage you to follow up on that. You can see the number of this broadcast. Make sure you catch up with some of the others. And this is really going to be some powerful stuff. This one piggybacks right on the discussion that the Christ had with us before. So you'll want to make sure that you pay attention. You want to make sure that you go ahead and get all these in order. That's kind of why it's important that you subscribe to this channel so you can keep up to date. It's also important to help other people be able to see these without exactly necessarily definitely looking for them, because the more likes, the more shares, the more subscribers, the more organic views that we get. And it's noticeable as many of you begin to subscribe and like and share. I can see that we are turning up in much more of the organic searches, and I thank you so much for that. So today we're going to look at the parable of the lamp. We looked last time at the parable of the sower and really the whole nature of parables from the Christ. So this is very good stuff. Again, get your pad, get your paper, get your thinking cap on, and we're going to look at the parable of the sower. I'm Jeffrey Daugherty, the Christian whistleblower, and this is the original teachings of the Christ. All right, and here we are, the lesson of the lamp, or the parable of the lamp in the King James Version. And let me just read it to you real briefly. And he, the Christ, said to them, "Is a candle brought to be put under a bushel?" That's a basket. "Or is it put to be under a bed, and not to be set on a candlestick? For there's nothing hid which will not be manifest, neither was anything kept secret, but that it should come abroad. If any man has ears to hear, let him hear." And he said unto them, "Take heed what ye hear, and with what measure you mete, it shall be measured unto you, and unto you that hear shall more be given. For he that has, to him shall be given, and he that has not, for him shall be taken away even that which he has." Isn't 1600s English a fun thing? Let's talk about what we're talking about here. Is not a candle brought to be something that gives light? You don't take a light, and in those days the candle was light, but we can look at it beyond that. Isn't a candle brought not to be put under a basket or under a bed, but to be set on a candlestick? Don't you gain light in order to be a source of light? Don't you gain light in order to have light emanate from you? Shouldn't your gaining of new light cause new light to flow out of you? For nothing is hidden which will not be made manifest, neither is anything given in secret that it should not be spread abroad. If any man has ears to hear, let him hear. And let's just go into the Greek of this and show you exactly what this means. It's very, very, very deep. So again, we're going to go up here, and we're going to do, remember in verse 21, so we're going to do interlinear, and then we're going to do verse 21. We're going to break this down. And he said to them, "Isn't a lamp brought?" And a lamp, if we look at a lamp, it's a lamp. It's something that is an oil-fed lamp. What does that do? It has a flame, and it actually gives light. So we're talking about something that gives light, and it's supposed to be set on a candlestick. And the reason why it's set on a candlestick, of course, is so it can broadcast its light. So he's talking about having light. It doesn't necessarily have to be a candle, but he's talking to him about having light. You don't put it under a basket. You don't put it under a bed. Why not? Because it's supposed to be on the lampstand so that it can give light. And when you receive spiritual light, it's not a spiritual bless me club. Now, when you receive spiritual light, when we receive spiritual light individually, it is for us individually to help us, to develop us, to help us to grow. But the true reality of growing, and we saw this in the through the Diamond New Testament in the book of James, show me your faith without works, and I'll show you my faith by my works. This ties back into what the Christ was saying here. When you get new light, when you receive new light, you should be broadcasting more light. It should be a definite thing. If you get new light, new understanding, new wisdom, and you're not broadcasting more light, or you're not giving off more light, something's wrong. So when you receive light, it should, like light a lamp on a candlestick, like a candle on a candlestick, it should broadcast more light. Now that doesn't mean you're preaching, teaching, shouting, telling everybody, but there should be noticeable, discernible differences, and people should be saying to you, hey man, hey chick, what's up? I mean, there's something different about you. So when you get light, when you have more light should be coming out. That's what this verse is saying. Now, if you're not quite with me on that, let's continue to read. So in verse 22, he says, "First, there's nothing which is hidden that will not be made manifest. Nothing has taken place in secret that should not come to light." Now remember we talked about in our last, I think it was the last through the Diamond New Testament, about the Christ had a mystery school. That's the name of the video, and I believe it's in the last video of the through the Diamond New Testament. It might have been Teachings of the Christ, but I think it was through the Diamond New Testament. But you can find it, the Christ had a mystery school. Just search my videos. And what he's saying is there's nothing that is hidden that it shouldn't be made manifest. Nothing has taken place in secret that it shouldn't come to light. This is going to blow your mind, because this ties right back to the Christ talking about the fact that he did have a mystery school and he did teach things in secret. And here's why we know that he taught him in secret. Nothing which is hidden. Look at this word. Nothing which is given in secret. Nothing which is given in secret. Nothing which is given in secret. Nothing which is given in secret, the Christ said. Nothing which is given in secret that's not meant to be manifest. Nothing is given in secret that's not made to be clear, visible, or manifest. Nothing is given in secret that's not made to illuminate. Do you see it? That's not made to manifest. So illuminating may be what happens within us as we gain more light. But manifesting is what takes it and makes it into plain, open view and makes it become apparent. So we should be, as we gain more light, it should become, as we gain more illumination ourselves, that illumination, this is exciting to me, should become manifest, plain, to the open view. It should become apparent to others. Now, if you're like me, it's easy because I get enlightenment and then I share it with you. So I do make it clear, I make it visible, I make it manifest. But that's really not the norm, because if you're not a person that is involved in teaching, then this will still become manifest. It will still become apparent through the change in your life and in your conduct. So what the Christ is saying is there's nothing that is hidden, nothing that's picked up in secret, that doesn't made manifest. And then he makes it even more plain. Nothing that has taken place, nothing that has come into being, nothing that has been given in a secret way, nothing that has been hidden away, nothing has been secret, nothing that has been stored up, nothing that has been given to you in a secret place or any place of holiness, a place of initiation, a place of secret teaching. It's not given for you to have a secret that nobody else has. It's not given to you to have wisdom that nobody else has. It's given to you that it should come, that it should be coming or going to light. That again, it should become apparent, clear, visible, manifest. So everything that we're given of a spiritual nature, the Christ says, should become manifest in our lives. And that's just like James saying, listen, if you say you have faith, but you don't have any works, you don't have any outward demonstration of an inward transformation, then guess what? You haven't had any inward transformation, bro or sis. So if your illumination isn't changing what you put out, then it's not what you think it is. And he goes on to say also that if anyone has ears to hear, let him hear. See, this isn't an easy thing. This isn't a simple thing. People don't understand it. They think it's talking about money. They think it's talking about all kinds of stuff that it's not talking about. It's talking about us getting illumination in ourselves, within ourselves, and knowing that it should be spread abroad to other people. And then he finally says, take heed, because whatever you hear, take heed what you hear. Take heed, count what you are receiving. Understand what you're receiving, because with what you're receiving, it's going to be measured to you and more will be added to you. So in other words, if you're getting, whoever has, more will be given. He who has not, even that which he has will be taken from him. So in other words, if you're receiving light, if you're learning, you're getting a lot of good information, and you're not illuminating, if it's not being shown in your life and in your conduct, then your illumination will slow down and cease even. And the person that is showing, the person that is glowing, will continue to be the person that is growing. I like that. If you're showing and glowing, you'll continue to be growing. But if you're not showing, you're not glowing, you'll just be slowing. So it turns this whole thing on its head. And most of the time you hear preachers talk about this money. If you give money, you're going to get more money. See, they want to take the spiritual and break it down to money, but it's very, very clear that the Christ was talking in no uncertain terms about spiritual things here. Listen, when you get light, put it on a candlestick. When you receive secret teachings and secret understandings, they shouldn't stay that way, but they should be spread abroad to other people. Listen to what I'm saying. Whatever you receive, it should be going out in the same measure. And when that happens, whenever you're growing and glowing, you'll be getting more. And if you don't, even that which you have will be taken away. It's a great tie back to what we talked about, again, on the parable of the sower and on the Christ having a mystery school. This is very powerful stuff. And I hope that you'll allow this to take hold in your life. I don't know about you, but to me it's very exciting when you see the scriptures coming together and synthesizing with one another. And you can see the difference when you're reading the New Testament through in its proper chronological order, and when you're studying the teachings of the Christ in their proper chronological order. This is a divine situation that I didn't even foresee. By us reading and studying the teachings of the Christ in their chronological order, and going through the Diamond New Testament in the chronological order, what you're seeing is a synthesis and a support between the teachings of the Christ and the New Testament revelation in order. Imagine that. Not only do we get to understand it because it's the way it was written and it was when it was written, we understand the flow and development, but also teachings and synthesis, or syntheses, more than one synthesis comes together. And we're able to see more and more. It's so important to do things, study things in chronological order. And we'll see that as we continue to go through the original teachings of the Christ and through the Diamond New Testament, as we do both in chronological order, and we begin to see Scripture interpreting Scripture, and we begin to see teachings dovetailing with one another. And it really is quite exciting. And that's how it is here at the Christian Whistleblower. So please subscribe to the channel. Please like the video. Please share the video. And whatever you do, please continue to unindoctrinate yourself.